Good evening, and welcome once again to Straight from the Sky. I'm your talk show host, Bobit Avilla, and tonight we will be dealing with history in the sense that in my 20 years in this show, this is going to be the first time that I would be able to interview the mayor of the city of Manila. Yes, our special guest today is Mayor Isko Moreno of Manila, and we are really blessed that he is with us in our show, and we'll be back with him after this break.
Sumuko ka na! Hindi ako suko! Sumuko na! Hindi ako suko! Sumuko ka na!
Tagal. Parang internet mo. Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ay, sumuko!
Switch to Sky Fiber. Ay, may lag. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days. Switch to Sky Fiber.
3 major financial needs to complete financial picture. 1. Investment. To generate continuing income for when you retire. Letting money work for you. 2. Income protection. Life insurance. To protect your family if you die too soon. Life insurance protection help finance your children's education, pay estate tax, pay debts instantly. Number 3. Healthcare. To provide you healthcare when you retire or when you stop working. Someone to take care of you when you get old. What if I could tell you about a product that provides complete solution to your 3 major financial needs? Kaiser Premium Health Builder provides total solution to your healthcare, investment, and insurance needs.
Thank you for staying with us. Good evening, Mayor Isko Moreno. How are you?
Hi, Bobit. Kamusta kayo dyan sa Cebu? I'm happy to see you that you're healthy and kicking.
Well,
Despite of the danger of this dreadful disease,
yes.
thank God you're safe.
Well,
And
thank
I hope
God for that.
everybody's also safe.
Yes,
Safe
and
in Cebu.
you know, when you were in Cebu, I wanted to catch you to interview you, but the problem was really the timing. Well, anyway, before we start our major topics, I would like to ask you, who is Isko Moreno? Who is he from? I know you're from Manila. You were in Tondo, but I know you're not totally Tagalog. So maybe you give us his
Yes.
history.
Yes, that's true, Bobit. Maayong gabi sa ating mga kababayan sa Cebu. Totoo yun, Manong Bobit. No? While it is true that I was born in Tondo, in the slum area of Tondo, but by blood, 100%, full-blooded Bisaya tayo. My father is from Antique, Karaya, and
Karaya.
my mother is from Samar,
Wow.
Waray.
So Karayaan, Waray. Wow.
Manong Bobit. Kaya although I was born here, talagang Tagalog na Tagalog ang salita ko, but I cannot hide that fact. It's already a fact. Genetically speaking, 100% Bisaya tayo.
Well,
But it's a very hard life, Manong Bobit. It's beyond. Sometimes I think of it beyond imagination. No? The way it's being described, yung buhay natin.
well,
Talagang sadlak sa kahirapan.
a lot of Bisaya were born in Tondo because a lot of them
Yes.
moved. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're one of
Yes.
them. You're one of
Ang
them.
storya niyan, Manong Bobit, para sa mga bagong new generation, no?
Yeah.
There was a sort of exodus
Yes.
in mid-century
Yeah.
of our time that a lot of individuals opted to go to Manila to find an opportunity to
Yes.
gain and grow economically speaking. Because at the time, the heyday of Manila, especially in the 60s, there is a lot of opportunity here. But those individuals met from the Visayas and Mindanao,
Yeah.
met here and make a family, and I'm one of those children or products of those Exodus time.
Well, I've heard your history. You grew up daw in a dump site. Can you give us a history of the story of
Well,
your...
it's a squatter area. It's not a dump site, but I collect garbage every day of my life in the early days. I grew up in Parola, Tondo. They can Google it. And then palipat-lipat ng lugar hanggang sa mapunta kami sa highway, sa may Arten, sa tapat ng Pier 8. I'm a product of public education system. Daycare or Tulungan Center at the time. Then Rosario Almario Elementary School and Tondo High School. Solong anak ako ng nanay at tatay ko. Life is so hard, time. And at the same time, not only economically speaking, but also environmentally speaking. You are being surrounded by some enterprising individual. If I may put that in right perspective. You grew up with criminals, some unnecessary things that you've seen as a very young boy. And I'm just grateful to God. I'm grateful to Jesus that, we survived. And that's why I always thank the Lord, Manang Bobit, because I am nothing without God. I am no special. Nakikita niyong uhugin, libagin, tulukin, nalipungahin dyan sa kalsada. It's the same boy that you're seeing now. It's just that it's hard to believe sometimes kasi parang napaka-imposible. But there's no impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. That's the truth of the matter. And that's why nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon na makaawon sa aking kinalalagyan, na napasok ako sa showbiz. I tried to excel from it. In a few years, made a dent in the industry. Then in 1998, I went to public service.
Yes, that's right.
In return of whatever blessings that I had, why not serve the people?
Well, you have a very humble beginnings, Isko. Really, not many politicians are like you. Most politicians are born into either a political family or rich oligarchies or what. But you are come from a, maybe I'm saying, the Lord sent to Manila his servant in the name of Isko Moreno so that he is able to lead the people of Manila. You know, during that time, I will not forget, during our dinner in February last year, with Didi Sitangco, you really told me that you wanted Manila to, kasi nabiyaan ng Manila sa Makati, sa mga ano.
Yes.
And you really told me.
Dugyot ba?
Yes.
Nagdugyot.
Correct.
Oh.
So I said to myself, this is one guy who has a plan. That's why I told Didi, I'm supporting your candidacy. And yes, you have reached this far, and you have now become the city of Manila mayor. And I think you are the most, what you call, advanced mayor, in the sense that you did not care about any political problems simply because you really didn't have any political allies. So in that sense, you are able to turn Manila into what it is now. You know, me, when I was still in the 60s and 70s, our business, family business is theaters. So I really had to live in Rizal Avenue.
Avenida.
Avenida, in Avenue Hotel. Because I would go
Avenida.
bookings sinihan. I would get...
And that was the heyday of Manila.
Correct,
the 60s.
correct. And I've seen, in fact...
Beautiful.
Yeah, how beautiful
Beautiful.
it was before. The restaurants were very, very nice. You go to Tondo, you could eat in Chinatown.
Yes,
Or
yes.
beautiful. I could never forget it. And for me, Manila...
And sometimes, Manong Bobit, I envy you, yung mga tatay at nanay natin, because they saw Manila then.
Correct.
So now what we're seeing is the effects of negligence.
Correct.
And all other things
Yes.
worsening the situation of the city. That's why I envy katulad nyo, Manong Bobit, that you were given an opportunity to see the beauty of the city of Manila at the time.
Isko, I was able to be there during the construction of the LRT. And it passes by what you call Avenida. So I was able to see what LRT has done for Manila. And you're really good. At that time, Marcos did the right thing by putting a light rail transit in Manila.
Kung yun ay tinuloy-tuloy lang,
Yeah.
sana ngayon meron tayong mass transit.
Correct. Ang problema lang natin is that our politicians sometimes sit on the laurels and they do not make any advance. So, wala tayong magawa dyan. We really have to continue with life. So I will, what you call, go on and exit for a while for our second set after this break. Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Ay, may lag. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days. Switch to Sky Fiber. Bagal kasi. Parang internet mo. Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ako single.
Switch to Sky Fiber.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's now go on the what have you done, Isko Moreno, in the 1 year that you have been mayor of Manila? I know, I've seen so many reports sa TV. I even watch your TV show at night where you walk around in the streets of Manila. And I said to myself, this is a different mayor because this guy doesn't even care if it's at night. And he is not hiding it because the mainstream media is with him on TV. So tell me what you have done to Manila in 1 year.
Well, Manong Bobit, nung ako'y pinalad, no, thanks to the people of Manila, gave me a chance to lead the city. We went to basic. Basic lang, Manong Bobit. Ano ba mga basic na inaasahan ng tao? Panatag ang pamumuhay. Ibig sabihin, they trust the community. It's safe. Maliwalas. No? Ibig sabihin, malinis. Hindi siya bago, pero malinis. Di ba, ling squatter tayo, pero meron dignidad sa pagiging buhay squatter. Then, third, yung peace and order, because you cannot govern in the streets anywhere in the world if there is no certainty with our laws. No? So that's why immediately there is a biggest icon of anarchy and chaos here in Manila.
Yeah.
And it's been there for 40 years.
Yes.
40 years.
Correct.
This is the street of Recto, Asuncion, up to Recto, Abad Santos. Full of 15,000
Wow.
obstruction. Sabi ko, alam niyo, kung tayo ilalaban na ayusin ng pamayanan, umpisahan natin yung pinakamalaking challenges. So that if we're going to fail, we can measure ourselves. But if you're going to succeed, lahat ng ibang kalye, nitty-gritty na lang yun. So come July 1, I made a commitment. I'll bring back the roads to the people. So that's why 48 hours of 40 years of problem, of chaos and anarchy in the streets of Recto and Luna, that's about 2 kilometers,
Correct.
12 lanes in total, full of obstruction. No? At yan ay pinamahayan ng mga nila Edith Pati, no? Mga mahihilig sa mga kotongero. In 48 hours, they are all gone.
Wow.
And we wanted to show it to the people
The
that this impossible thing is not impossible. So I was asked so many times by the federation and all chambers, what did you do how did you do it in Recto? Sabi ko, I did nothing. With all honesty, Manong Bobit, I did nothing. No, Mr. Mayor, what did you do? Well, I did not accept, and they're all gone. So you did nothing, you did not accept, then they're all gone. Ganun kasimple. Because that's the key. Let's be honest to ourselves, Manong Bobit. You're older than me. You've been with politicians, you've been with leaders. chaos in the streets will not exist, no, kung ayaw ng mayor.
Correct. That's true. Very true. And
Alam na natin yan, basic governance yan. So I did not do extra or scientific or going to moon approach. No, this is basic governance. And after that, all the streets of Manila, when you start cornering them, cleaning them, clearing up, ilog, no, these are daily basic governance. Peace and order. Bawal mamahay ang wanted sa Manila. We'll go after you. Stay away from Manila. If you commit crime in Manila, we'll go after you. You'll die of not depriving yourself of sleep, because we'll go after you anywhere in the country. We will pursue you. So crime went down naturally. There is order. Then, yung sinabi ko kanina, Manu, you have to be certain about rules. You don't change things in the middle of the ball game. You don't fix things that is effective or not broken. So sabi nila, hindi, ano lang yan, 1 week. After 1 week, Manong Bobit, hindi, 1 month lang yan, 1 month. After 1 month, sabi niya, sa December, pagpapayagan na tayo niya. Awa ng Diyos, Manong Bobit. Pagpunta mo rito, you'll be surprised. This is our 1 year and 28 days already. It's still clean, zero obstruction. Then we went to Ilog. So these are basic, no? Then we went further. We have this, we, no, including me, politicians makes promises in the campaign. That's normal because the people needs to hear that. Whether it is a promise, whether it's an aspiration, whether it is a vision. To implement it when you sit is another thing. But people needs to hear your kompromiso, your visions or aspirations sa buhay, sa pamamala. And I said, we will address ISF or sa Tagalog, squatter. Because alam natin sa Maynila, maraming squatter. Alam natin yan. It cannot, denying it will not solve it. Alam na natin.
Yes, true.
We will develop our healthcare system. Then we will provide more jobs and business opportunity. No harm will go to business sector. In my time, no harm. At the same time, no business sector can abuse the government. So it works both ways.
Yes.
While we protect the business sector cannot abuse the government. Ganun ang logic dito. Laging certain yung rules. Then, sa awa ng Diyos, Manong Bobit, one of my idol, to share to our Cebuano friends or watching or viewers, is Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. Sumalangit na ang kaluluwa.
Yes,
Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew.
Singapore.
You know, I was fortunate to be sent to foreign studies, despite of me lacking a regular academic background. So I've learned about what Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did in the 1960 when he introduced the in-city vertical housing program. This is now what you call the HDB. No? Sabi ko, hindi rocket science to. Then we copy.
Yes.
And as you heard a few months ago, in less than 1 year, we are building Condominium 1 and Condominium 2. The bad word condominium in the 80s, it's a bad word.
Yes.
It describes chaos. It describes filth.
Yes.
Condominium, no?
Correct.
Where I live. Sabi ko, we'll name that building condominium. We'll use our adversity in our advantage. So that the next generation, when they hear, where do you live? I live in condominium. There is sense of pride. There was sense of pride because
Correct.
It's a decent 44 square meter, 15-story vertical housing program in the city. 2-bedroom.
Wow.
Why I did that? Simply because it's hard to do, but we have to do it better. Mahirap na siyang gawin na nating mas maganda. Sort of saying. Because Mr. Lee Kuan Yew When he introduced it in 1960, in 1964, the first building natapos, then the rest is history. 80% ng mamamayan ng Singapore ngayon, you can Google it, you can research, nakatira sa housing.
Yes, true.
80% ng mamamayan ng Singapore, mayaman ng Singapore, ha?
Yes.
Developed countries yan. But 80% of them lives in public housing introduced by the state. So, sabi ko, I will not succeed definitely in addressing the entire population of ISF. But we have to begin somewhere else so that the next leaders of the city will have a road, a path na susundan niya na on how to address ISF.
Well,
And modesty aside, Manong Bobit, tinatayo ngayon yung Condominium 1, Condominium 2. Now we are building Binondominium 1. And we are preparing for Binondominium 4. Oh. So, that is housing. Now, second, Manila is filthy by water, by streets, and by air. Sabi ko, para mapababa natin ang kaso ng mga pulmonary diseases or any other diseases brought by this filth. No? Kasi I grew up as basurero ko. Alam ko, Manong Bobit, I mean, that's my life.
that's true.
Yun ang buhay ko, basura. So I know how it affects individuals. So, sabi ko, ayoko makikita na nagtatapong kayo ng basura, lilinisin niyo, tapos pipicturean niyo lang. Sabi ko, tigilan niyo yan, ha? Yung mga press release na yan. So I made a task force for Manila Bay, task force Baseco, task force for our creek. Wala silang gagawin, sa awa ng Diyos, araw-araw, maglinis ng ilog, maglinis ng mga solid material in the body of water. Now, sabi ko, matigas ang ulo ng ng tao. No? Tapon pa rin ng tapon. Sabi ko, we cannot teach old dogs new tricks. We must not give up. Let's go after to their children. Show to the children of this hindi behave na tao. Ipakita natin sa mga anak nila, ito ang tamang paggogobyerno. So we continue picking up garbages while the people continue to throw garbages. So sabi ko, dalawang bagay lang mangyari. Mapagod ang gobyerno o mapagod ang tao na nakakatapon ng basura sa ilog.
Wow. You know, I think
I grew up in the street. I know how it works.
You know,
then, naturally, Manong Bobit, nababawasan na yung load ng basura namin na nakukuha sa ilog.
you know, Isko, I think you have already invented the right way how to run a city. And in fact, I've noticed, for instance, the Jones Bridge has become an icon of tourism in Manila, and we'll be back with Isko Moreno after this second break. We'll be back with you shortly.
first song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
Thank you for staying with us. We're now halfway to the show with our favorite mayor in the Philippines, Isko Moreno, and the mayor of Manila. So time now, it's we will discuss. You are the mayor who has done for the first time to be in Manila in a pandemic, a global pandemic that no mayor has ever been experienced before. So you're also having this very rare experience. So tell us what you're doing to
Yes.
make Manila COVID-free.
Well, Manila, without the vaccine, and the same cities in the world, is no excuse. Hindi namin masisiro ang COVID-19. That
Yes.
is a fact. There is no playbook on how to address this pandemic. That is a fact. So no president, no mayor, no governor in this world or leaders can solve COVID-19 until there is a vaccine. Okay. Now, having said that, if that is a premise, then it is very clear to any leaders like mayors, no, na meron talaga tayong problema, that every day is COVID day. So if we have that in our mind, what can we do to suppress the growth or exponential growth of such dreadful disease? And I think that is the right approach. Yun lang yung akin, yung personal point of view ko. Now, then we made what we call COVID plan. Code is contain and delay immediately. I was very fortunate. I was sent to London before the exposure of the country to COVID-19. I've talked to the COBRA chief, the Corona British Response Agency. I got a plan. I adopted the plan. Then we made it later on Code M, COVID-19. Code M is contain, code, delay, no? And M, mitigate the economic effect, the socio-economic effect of COVID-19. So we stick to that plan. And until now, Bobit, kahit na namimigay kami ng libreng testing sa lahat ng tao, wala nang boundary because this is a universal problem. This is pandemic. It has to be approached inclusively, no? And we have to act in unison, no? To fight COVID. So still, we will have COVID until the vaccine. So ang point ko lang, kailangan magtulungan ang mamamayan, gagawin niya yung kanyang responsibilidad bilang tao o constituents, be responsible enough for himself, incidentally, for his family, to keep his family safe. And that is a good help already for the government to continue to address the COVID-19. Now, anong pwede lang namin masabi? At least we can share lang, no? This is factual already. It's on record. While it is true that Manila is about 2.4 million nighttime and about 3 million daytime, and even in ECQ, Manong Bobit, Manila is so accommodating to open industries because we have the ports. No? Sa amin ang gagaling lahat. Pag sinarado namin yung Manila, patay na Metro Manila. While it is true that we don't produce vegetables, while it is true that there's no fishing here, we don't have poultry and all other things. But all those products or produce will go to Manila to be distributed in Manila and in Metro Manila. The same thing with imports. No? Sa Manila rin yung babagsak. So despite of all these challenges, and about 3 million daytime population, sa awa naman ng Diyos, 4,000 plus ang aming accumulated cases, and we have about 1,400 active cases and 2,700 plus recovered.
Wow.
And we only have about 211 deaths.
211 deaths. Mas taas pa
And
kami sa Cebu. 400 plus kami sa
2,000
Cebu.
Ilan?
400 plus kami sa Cebu City.
Naalala mo yung tanong mo sa akin kanina, Manong Bobit, yung ano mga ginawa ninyo before COVID, yung ano mga, yun yung sinabi ko kanina, we strengthen our healthcare system.
Yeah.
We develop our equipments. We hire more doctors and nurses at the time before COVID. And in fact, even now, we continue to hire to replenish the tired and psychologically and emotionally affected health workers.
Mga frontliners.
Parang meron kaming relievo ba? Relievo.
Yeah.
So, para mas efficient. And we bought so many machines already. That's why, ewan ko Manong Bobit, nabalita mo, we made mass testing, drive-through testing in the city. It's the first in the country. And it was made available and conveniently to anybody, like not even non-Manilans. Then we made what we call walk-in in our hospital, outside of the hospital, so that people will not get infected inside the hospital just to get tested.
Correct.
Then we launched about 5 days ago about with regard to saturation drive, wherein there is a two mobile system that we saturate the barangay with high infection rate. Then today we just launched another site, walk-in site. People just can walk for peace of mind, just to be tested, or maybe for work, or all other reasons. So, ganun lang kami ng ganun. But, mind you, Manong Bobit, hindi pa kami successful.
Wow.
It's just that we're just very happy and grateful to God that despite of 70,000 per square kilometer density,
Yes.
kami ang biggest. Kami may pinakamasamang density.
Correct.
In fact, it's the entire Asia, no? 70,000 per square kilometer. Ganyan kami ka-dense in Manila. Despite of all those disadvantages, I am grateful, one, to God. I am grateful to my co-employees. I am grateful to our frontliners to manage the high probability of recovery. Because again and again, there is no cure.
Yes.
Death is inevitable. Survival is an achievement.
Yes.
Recovery is an achievement. I think nowadays we should for the meantime, nowadays, no, para laging safe tayo, no,
Yeah.
and the economy. No? For the meantime, we must learn how to live with COVID-19.
Amen.
And at the same time, we must learn how to go back to work safely for
Correct.
us to survive in this battle. Yan ang tingin kong dapat na maging pamantayan ng lahat ng taong gobyerno at ng mamamayan.
I just saw your advertisement on wearing the mask, doing the social distancing, and staying home.
Yes. Yes. Opo, any form to inculcate to the minds of our people the gravity of the situation. Yes, you may not feel it because you did not acquire it. Or maybe in your community or you're safe, all of you there. That is for the meantime. If other communities will fail, one way or another, magme-mesh yan. Then we end up with what? Paulit-ulit na lamang. So it has to be acted upon in unison. simultaneous, in sync, sort of saying.
You know, sa suggestion ko in my column sa Star, I said we should follow what they did in Taiwan because we had about mga 3 weeks ago a Zoom meeting with the Vice President of Taiwan, who is an epidemiologist, and he was really saying this is what we can do. And I'm saying to the IATF that all we have to do is follow the good examples of many countries that have successfully avoided COVID. You're not saying na-remove natin ang COVID, but we have avoided it.
Exactly. You know, Manong Bobit, total sinabi mo yan. You know this?
Yeah,
Because we wanted to mitigate the socio-economic effect
correct.
to individuals who lost their jobs. What we did, there's an idea in Czechoslovakia, although marami pa akong idea sa ibang bansa na kinopya rin natin dito, but this was copied in Czechoslovakia, wherein the communities produce their own mask,
Yes.
washable mask, to lower the probability of infection,
Correct.
which they did. And they're very successful about it. So what we did, dahil marami na walang trabaho, nag-hire tayo ng maraming mananahi
Yeah.
sa bahay, sa eskwelahan,
Correct.
meron silang kita, tapos yung na-produce, pinamimigay natin sa tao. As of today, we have about produced 310,000 of washable.
Wow. Wow. And this is
Bakit?
done by the mga sastre,
Tao.
The
Mga sastre, mga PWDs, nanay na mayroong singer,
Wow.
na may sabi na. You know, this is 4 pesos.
Yes.
4 pesos, if you produce 100, that's 400 pesos a day. That's 12,000 pesos. We're paying it on time.
This is
So you
where,
generated a livelihood. At the same time, when you spend government money, you make sure that it addresses COVID-19.
correct.
And this, not a guarantee for you to be not to be infected, but this will lower the probability of you getting infected.
Or spreading
And
it.
this costs money.
Correct.
This costs money to every individual. And sa hirap ng buhay ngayon, sabi nga ng isang katwiran, ako, katwiran kalye, no? Bibili ko ng mas, 20 pesos. E di kain ko na lang yan. Ayan ang katwiran. Totoo naman kasi yun. Kasi pag mahirap ang tao, ang unahin niya, bituka.
Correct, correct.
Let's accept that fact.
That's true.
Yan ang unahin ng tao. Tiyan.
But
Ipagpapakasakali niya yung kalusugan. Tiyan yan. Kaya, I don't want them to have an excuse. I don't want them to give them hard life or, makadagdag pa sa suliranin nila. Susuot mo na lang.
Correct.
Lalaban mo, suot mo. Yan. Napakasimple. Simple lang.
You know,
Not rocket science.
Mayor, I'm really proud that you have done this in the city of Manila. And really, we'll be back with Mayor Isko Moreno for our final set after this break.
Huwag mo siyang pakasalan!
Bagal kasi. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ako single.
Switch to Sky Fiber.
Freeman, bye!
First song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
The theory of decreasing responsibility explains how your life insurance needs change over time. In the early years, you may need a lot of life insurance coverage, but in the later years, you may not. In the early years, when you're younger, you don't have a lot of money, but in the later years, you'd better have money. How does this fit with your insurance needs? Today, when you're young, loss of income due to a premature death would be devastating. Your children are young and you might have high debt and a house mortgage. Your need for insurance is highest at this time. When you get older, retirement income is needed. Your children are grown, your debts are lower, and your mortgage is paid. If you have savings, you are self-insured, diminishing your needs for insurance. That's the theory of decreasing responsibility. By having life insurance when your financial responsibilities are the greatest, you can have peace of mind knowing your family's future is protected.
Thank you for staying with us. For our final set, we will be asking our Mayor of Manila, Isko Moreno, that what is his future? Because you know why? Election time is coming 2 years from now, though it's still 2 years from now. So many people have already considered you to follow President Duterte's line because, one, he was mayor of Davao and he became president. And you are mayor of the biggest city in the Philippines, Manila, and the most famous, and you have done a lot in just 1 year. So maybe you should be considering also a presidential, what you call, I'm only giving that because that's not coming from me, that's coming from many people.
Okay, Manong Bobit, first things first. Let's be honest to our constituents. Let's be honest to our viewers. Lahat ng politiko, lalahatin ko. I don't know if they're going to lie about it or agreed about it. I respect their views. But generally, lahat ng politiko, once get elected, they wanted presidency. Because that's the career growth, tama ba, Manong Bobit? That is the most logical way of thinking it. Tama po ba?
Correct.
That's fair. And that's fair.
Yes.
This is democracy.
Yes.
So lahat yan, including us. No? Everybody wanted to be the president. But everybody will never be president. Okay? So now, having said that, so it's a given fact. Now, for now, let's be honest naman to our situation. First things first. Of all those political dreams of anybody, including me, including them, no? Let's just focus on how are we going to keep our people safe. There is no presidency to speak of if people are dying because there's nobody to be governed. People are dead.
Correct.
And sick and dying dying in hunger. This must be addressed first things first. And I hope that we, including me, lahat kami, para wala nang mali siya, we should set aside for the meantime,
Yes.
for the meantime, our political ambition.
Amen.
We should, because there is COVID-19
Correct.
who is killing us, killing our people, and there is a dying economy.
Yes.
A dead economy will add up killing our people on top of COVID. If there's no economic movement, we cannot govern without money. Without money, hindi kita mabibili ng paracetamol, amoxicillin, Erengilla, oxygen, and all other things that is needed in our hospitals. So we must focus on ano ang gagawin natin, Manong Bobit, ng mga politikong katulad ko sa pangkalahatan sa buong Pilipinas at pati sa buong mundo. Paano natin masusustain yung buhay at kabuhayan?
Amen.
Both. Noong unang buwan, mauunawaan ko to dahil ligaw tayo lahat. Unang buwan, pangalawang buwan, priority, life alone. Buhay alone. Kasi lahat tayo ligaw. Then we've learned our lesson. Even the doctors and scientists learn COVID-19 or coronavirus. We'll learn it. Then the next approach is how are we going to protect life and livelihood so that we can survive in this path. So, having said that, Manong Bobit, with all honesty, niwala sa radar ko yan. Hindi ko yan inisip. But, don't get me wrong, I am grateful to you. I am grateful to those people that you talked with na they're looking at me that way, looking at things that way. No, I am grateful. I am honored. But
I'll tell you
for
why.
the meantime, I'll focus first on how we, not only Manilans, we, even Cebuanos that who will go to Manila, and Visayas and Mindanaoans who will go to Manila, na sila makaramdam ng safe and may kumpiyansa. Dahil yung COVID, kahit walang virus, ay walang vaccine, nagsusuppress yung numbers. No?
I'll tell you
So,
the reason why.
tingin ko yun.
The reason why I thought about that, or a lot of people from the social media has been telling many people, is that with the advent of a person, a Cebuano from Davao City who became the president, and he's been a very good president. By the way, in the last 4 years, there have been talks that there will be parang wala ng tao galing sa Luzon who is going to be the next, who will be the presidential candidate in the Philippines. That's the reason why you are what you call coming up like a sore thumb that they're looking at you because there's really nothing else in Manila as of today. That's the
Well,
reason
ang
why.
good news lang, Manong Bobit, the mayor from, let me say, I don't know if my geography is right in Cebu, as far as Toledo, on the other side of Cebu,
Yeah,
can be the president.
yeah.
The mayor, as far as Allen Samar,
Yes,
no? The mayor, as far as Cagayan Valley, in the
yes.
northern Luzon, or in the southern part of Luzon, which is Bicol, any mayor, 1,600 plus
Them.
municipal and city mayor can be a president.
Yes.
Nakuha nyo? Nagkaroon ng
That's true.
opportunity to excel everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's a proven fact that if you excel in public service, no matter where you are, no matter what dialect you have,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to the people's mind, heart, and eyes. You will be given a chance. So the key is to excel
Correct.
and let the people decide on your fate.
Correct.
So now there's an opportunity for 1,600 mayors because it's a proven fact already. President Duterte did it. He's a mayor of a far-flung part of this country,
Correct.
in the southernmost of this country, Mindanao. Di ba?
Yeah,
But
correct.
it did. It happened. So anybody will have a chance.
Correct.
More so, there is about more or less about 80 governors
Yes.
who can excel. Before, it's always about the Senate, the next Senate, the
Yes.
senator will,
That's true.
di ba? Ganun lagi ang concept.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
it changes the attitude of our people. That even though, kahit saan sulok ka ng Pilipinas, pag naging mabuti ka sa iyong sinumpaang tungkulin, naging masinop ka, naging epesyente ka, naging tapat ka sa sinumpaan mo, you will be given an opportunity. Now, again and again, I'll go back to the premise. Now, we have COVID.
Correct.
Tabi namin lahat yan. Tabi namin lahat ang pangarap namin. Hindi naman pwede ikubli sa tao yan. Huwag na tayo mag-plastic ba?
That's
na
true.
lahat tayo nangangarap yan ng mataas na posisyon.
That's true.
But for the meantime, ano muna, tabi muna na, let's just, alam mo yung kabayo, Manong Bobit, kaya nakakatakbo na mabilis.
Yeah.
Meron tapao, yung nakalagay rito.
Yes.
So that hindi malawak, nakapokus siya
Correct.
on a particular direction. And we may fail. But I would rather fail on doing something than not doing it, nothing at all.
Well, my last question to you would be, what else have you not done in Manila that I have not read about? Because you have done so much.
No. Basta ganito, katulad niya, Manila Zoo was relaunched, started groundbreaking. We're building, yung promise ko sa'yo, sabi ko sa'yo, pagagandahin ko yung Manila Zoo, gagawin ko Singapore.
Yeah.
Iko-compete ko yung Singapore. You know, Manyosa did it.
Yeah.
The design. Manyosa
Manyosa.
is going to Yes. World class. We're gonna do that and we're doing it right now. Eh sabi ko sa iyo, magtatayo ako ng 10-story bagong ospital ng Manila, fully air-conditioned, glass, you know. Sabi ko sa iyo, di ba?
Yeah.
Kahit mahirap, kahit man lang sa huling sandali niya, habang nakahirati siya sa ospital, maramdaman lang niya na gobyerno niyakap siya hanggang sa huling hininga niya. Makakita siya ng pasilidad na para ba siya nasa Makati Medical Center, kahit ito'y public hospital. So, we always wanted the best. We wanted to deliver what's best for you because you deserve the best. So, these are the things that is gonna go, parang tuloy-tuloy. Whatever we have started, making open green space, protecting heritage, cleaning up our environment, policing ourselves, corruption are being solved. Then, encouraging business sector to trust again Manila, to give us a second chance, a second life, to redeem ourselves. Then let's make Manila the real capital of the country. Let's show it to them. Why are we called the capital, the beacon of hope? That there is hope in Manila, the way it was before, in the hearts and minds of our people in the Visayas and Mindanao. They look at Manila in the 60s as an opportunity, as an hope. And we wanted to have that kind of experience that you, Manong Bobit, and your colleagues experienced that we did not see or saw. We wanted that for the next generation.
And
of
with
our
you,
constituencies.
with you as mayor, I think that will happen. Unfortunately, we ran out of time.
With your help, I
Wow.
cannot do it alone.
Yes, of course.
I cannot do it alone.
At-
People must participate. People must adapt.
As I said, we ran out of time. I will be asking the mayor of Manila for his parting shots after this final break. Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Piman, bye!
First song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's now ask Mayor Isko Moreno Malina for his parting shots. Mayor?
Okay. Again, Manong Bobit, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ito. Sa mga Cebuano na nanonood, sa MyTV Cebu, sa mga staff ng MyTV Cebu, maraming salamat sa inyo. Okay. Yung problema namin sa Maynila ay problema rin sa Cebu o sa Visayas. Kapag kami nagbuti rito at napabayaan kayo dyan, babalik din sa amin ang problema. Kapag kayo nagbuti dyan at napabayaan kami dito sa Manila, babalik din sa inyo ang problema. So what I'm saying is that it's a universal problem. Then I think we have to act in unison. So ang hinihingi ko lang sa mga kababayan nating nanonood sa lungsod, habang ang gobyerno'y ginagampanan ng kanyang tungkulin at ang gobyerno'y hindi perpekto, ilagay na natin sa isipan natin yan para wala tayong masyadong sama ng loob. Dahil ang gobyerno'y pinamumunuan ng tao at ang tao'y hindi perpekto. Si Jesus lang ang perpekto.
Correct.
Okay? So, we may make mistakes or shortcomings, but what is important, we in the government should accept faults and shortcomings so that we can move on. Now, on the other side, nananawagan po ko sa inyo na sana patuloy tayong mag-cooperate. No? Pagmalasakitan natin ang ating sarili, disiplinahin natin ang ating sarili, pangalagaan natin ang ating sarili para manatili tayong ligtas, para mo na rin pinagmalasakitan ang mahal mo sa buhay, at kung lahat ng tao ay ginagawa yun, para mo nang pinagmalasakitan ng komunidad. At pag nangyari yun, gagaang ang trabaho ng gobyerno. para tugunan ang suliranin natin sa COVID-19. So, government, people should work hand in hand.
Amen.
And I think, it's just a matter of time. I think, no, may awa ang Diyos. May awa ang Diyos. I think, makakaraos din tayo.
Amen.
Kaya, manatili po kayong ligtas. Please, wear mask, wash your hands, keep your distance. These are basic health protocols that will help you to be not to be infected with COVID-19. So mag-iingat kayo dyan sa Cebu. I hope I can see you soon and kakain ulit ako ng Cebu lechon at saka yung manok. Yung
Yes.
manok do sa may kinakainan akong isang manukan dyan.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Isko Moreno, for a very wonderful interview. And I think I will consider you the best mayor in the Philippines today because you have really done so much in just 1 year. Isang taon lang ito. Isang taon lang ito and you have done so much. And I've always, like during that dinner, I predicted that you would do something good for Manila.
Thank you. Thank you for your good words, Manong Bobit. Basta lahat ng biniling ko sa iyo doon, modesty aside, lahat yun nangyari na.
Thank you.
And we will continue that.
Thank you so much to Mayor Isko Moreno.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Ingat kayo.
Ingat. Thank
God
you.
bless you all.
God bless. Well, you've heard the Mayor of Manila, Isko Moreno, that I befriended about a year ago. And during a dinner we had with Didi Sitiangco. And yes, in 1 year, he's done so much for the city of Manila. And it was a beautiful interview that I have given here in Cebu. And really, the first time I interviewed a Manila mayor from really in my 20 years in Straight from the Sky. So you've heard it here. I'm Bobit Avilla. Thank you and goodbye.